All right, here we go to the Fairgrounds. Another weekend of Oaks and Derby qualifying races to get ready for the Kentucky Derby and the Kentucky Oaks. Let's take a look at what's happening at the Fairgrounds. We've got the Fairgrounds Oaks. That's Saturday at the Fairgrounds, mile and a 16th, race number 11. This one here, your winner gets 100 points in this Grade 2 event, and that will put them into the gate automatically for the Oaks. It's a decent field, even though it's just 7. I think there's enough here to make some things happen. Let's get started and take a look at how this field shapes up. Maximum Offer has some speed, and they have to use it to get out there on the front end. I don't think they want to sit back because there's really not much speed here, so they could just kind of try to get away with it. But the problem is there are a couple of other runners that it probably doesn't matter who gets the lead, because Love Your Neighbor and Bella Ballerina, they hooked up in the Rachel Alexandra, and it was a really nice race, and I think they're going to do it again. I think Bella Ballerina actually is probably a bit more dangerous if she can sit just off the pace. I don't know if she's going to want to dictate again, because if she does, I think that Maximum Offer might be a bit more aggressive to try to stay with her. Whereas Love Your Neighbor and Louis Saez, you know Louis is going to break on top and be forwardly placed. So I think there could be enough up there on the front end to make it very interesting for some runners. And then you've got a runner like Life of Joy, who I think is also very talented. Look at that debut performance, and then coming right back at Churchill in the Rags to Riches, then coming right back in the Golden Rod. I think 3 really good performances. And then you just go ahead and say, hey, that Suncoast, that's first off of the layoff, probably needed that. Now, second off the layoff, will get pace to run at, has a nice closing kick, and looks extremely live in this race. Now, I know that she has a great turn of foot, but I'm not quite sure if Life of Joy is good enough to win this race. I think another runner who I've liked in the past has a much better turn of foot. And now with the presence of Maximum Offer, along with Love Your Neighbor and Bella Ballerina, I think there's going to be enough. You know, Love and Trust is the horse to the outside who was forwardly placed last time, but not fast enough to be a part of the pacing here, I don't think, unless they get aggressive. If they do, it makes it easier for my selection, Newtown Pike. If they don't move out there with Love and Trust, I think we still have enough of a setup for Newtown Pike. That's our selection. Very consistent filly, always makes the run from off the pace. We'll just see if she's able to get there in time coming up on Saturday. That's race number 11. That's the pick, the number 2, Newtown Pike in the Fairgrounds Oaks. From there, we go to the Grade 2 Louisiana Derby. Ooh, we like this race, right? Decent field, but, you know, we just love the fact that usually the horse that comes out of this race is highly regarded going into the Derby. And in this situation, we've got a horse that might be able to get away with it. Chip Honcho is the speed. And with Louis Saez, he's not going to, something has to go wrong for him to break poorly. So they could get away with this. They've got the pace, and if they break on top, it could be a problem for everybody else. Now, the Huckleberry most likely should be the Baffert runner. Blacksmith has some speed, and I think they have to try to break on top. They have to just be, I don't think they're fast enough to carry it, although that 1 mile maiden event at Santa Anita was decent. You know, they're a factor for sure, but I don't know if they can steal it. But they are a factor, right? Then you've got runners that are like Easterly. I think Easterly wants to be close. I think they want to press it and not lose contact with the field. Emerging Market, you know, decent fractions going mile 40 in the maiden debut. I don't think they want to leave this runner with too much to do either. So I think that they'll be mid-pack. And if that horse is mid-pack, I think it might set some things up for others. But the thing about this race and this field is there's so many question marks with some of these runners. And then you have some runners that have already proven what they're all about, right? So in this particular situation, the speed might be able to get away, maybe. But I really feel like there's one horse that's just better no matter what they do pace-wise, and I think that's Golden Tempo. Golden Tempo's already proven himself. He'll be sitting just off the pace. He'll be closing. He's very honest. He always makes his move, and I think he'll get enough to run at. With the blinkers on, they probably want him a little bit closer, but he's got an amazing turn of foot that we have already seen in the Lecomte, and I think he's going to be in a good spot, and I think he's just much better than the runners here, no matter what the pace scenario is. I think he's just better. So I'm going to go with Golden Tempo to win. And if he wins this, I think he might be my top Derby contender because he's just really consistent with that closing kick. Now, we scored last weekend with Incredibolt, and I like that horse quite a bit as well. But we'll see how these things develop, and we'll get to our Kentucky Derby list coming up here in about 2 weeks. All right, that's how we do it here on Horse Race Bets. In the meantime, in between time, until next time, I'm Ken Rudulph. We will see you again later on. Good luck and enjoy whatever you're into.